Growing a business traditionally meant choosing between two flawed options. You either sat down in a room to build deep trust with one person at a time, or you bought massive reach that shatters across a target audience with the cold intimacy of a billboard. High-converting boardroom pitches and personal consultations work because humans respond to eye contact and tone of voice. However, even the best communicator can only be in one room at any given moment. Revenue remains strictly bound by the limits of a calendar. Companies attempting to break that limit often turn to the digital broadcast. They trade the handshake for websites, blocks of static text, and generic imagery, hoping that high volume will eventually compensate for a complete loss in human connection. This chart shows the consequence of that trade. When a viewer encounters standard, impersonal digital media, their attention drops to near zero within the first 3 seconds. They scroll past without processing the message. These paths eventually diverge. The high, steady conversion of a physical pitch stays at the top, while standard digital retention remains at the bottom. As long as a brand's best communicator is bound by the laws of physics, true scale remains blocked. Revenue stays on the table until a business can clone its most effective human presence. Digital twins function through a synchronized multimodal ecosystem designed to replicate human appearance and narrative behavior. The process begins with the motion DNA layer. AI extracts movement data, mapping microexpressions and mouth shapes called visemes to create a motion blueprint. This is wrapped in an identity skin. A 4K photograph provides the texture map, combining fluid movement with crisp detail. Realistic visual rendering only works when it is paired with engineered narrative psychology. This requires a rigid pacing structure called a dopamine ladder. The 5-beat staircase starts with a hook from 0 to 3 seconds and amplify until 8 seconds. Next, the authority bridge and proof mechanism run from 18 to 28 seconds. The final rung delivers the outro call to action by 35 seconds. Combining photorealistic rendering with this rigid psychological structure turns a standard video into a highly scalable, high-retention brand asset. The Gemini co-creation loop acts as the central orchestration system, connecting the visual rendering with the narrative script. First, an LLM generates the precise dopamine ladder script. Second, the engine translates that script into a spoken video layer using avatar data. Third, it creates a shot-by-shot visual brief. Finally, a video model renders cinematic environments to surround the avatar, closing the loop. This closed software loop removes the need for physical shoots entirely. Cinematic production moves from a logistical nightmare into a piece of automated infrastructure. This same infrastructure powers real-time, interactive inbound presence through the live avatar. The interactive twin acts as an always-on digital advisor. It is capable of holding dynamic, two-way conversations with website visitors 24 hours a day, qualifying leads while the rest of the team is offline. To maintain psychological trust during user pauses, the system utilizes a continuous idle state. It generates natural behavioral variations, like subtle posture shifts and eye contact, that signal life to the viewer's subconscious. Deploying an always-on communicator functions as a core operational upgrade, creating an insurmountable market moat by removing friction for the user. Late movers will eventually be forced to compete manually against tireless, perfectly optimized digital competitors who never sleep and never miss a detail. Those who build this digital infrastructure today are securing premium mental real estate in tomorrow's market. The architect behind this transition to digitized brand presence is Real Space Digital.